ama wia ba sɔre sa bi we na de so so me aboa ho an onyankopɔn ade mo he onyankopɔn jazakallahu khayr. Assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Opesa obo nyamsem kan enye wiye opesa usika kan nyamsem esesa amanfo gidie ni amanfo kra ana se opesa udue de be bia be bo wa sati so ha ene da kwa ma tebwada sene de je bo mpaye se rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhaban nar ene hawna tuasha mama online media network dawa fie ai nyankopɔn wasɛm wa santi Sasa and Professor yes Apanena Yawa Now your mobile number is 0246751175. It didn't that Mama online. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Man online and Sadaka Wells Project Academy to a bride in Soko Bibia in Zoom. Friends 0550111121. Inshallah.
Online media network.
And the man dawa keteke.
Your man online production team. Yeah, but
program live.
Our man online Facebook,
YouTube, Instagram, Telegram, Skype, another call, Google Play Store, search Man Radio 1 with live.
www.manthonline.com.
Man online Dawa Culture.
Wallahi, Al-Jannah Firdaus, inshallah. Amen. Wallahi, Al-Jannah Firdaus, inshallah. Amen. Wallahi, Al-Jannah Firdaus, inshallah. Amen.
Naam, ene kwesiada abono nkono apanhusi maduonum wotwe ewo mam online studio ha na program adru so ideal Muslimahs of mam English version yeni Mallamah kese Mallamah Mardiya Mustapha ni bi djumadi live na ne topic was the price of chastity eno ho abobo afutu ene yebeje afri ni ho na me kai wo se program yi live ko Play Store na search Mam Radio 1 no bitima download the application at your phone ne so no wetimi atie yen Radio.net, TuneIn Radio, Modern Ghana, Online Radio Box, let's search Mam Radio 1. Ubitimi etiye. Name mo pen tenten into ato bia okoye website, official website for Mam Online na. mamghonline.org. Okoha ubihu Mam Radio 1 live. Ya tregu ho. Ubo play pe ubitimi etiye program yi live. Ewo ho. Program yi make live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram, Skype, Snapchat. Any miamia bibri baby to say WhatsApp on so Oko pages be to say radio member GH Bayanuddin FM USA Alim Counseling Center Salamu Muslimin Foundation Ideal Muslimahs of Mam Dawa Keteke Muslim Access Movement page 1 to 3 Mam Online page 1 to 10 Mam Online Egypt Libya Germany Togo Nsunam Kwemwa Eba Islamic Gallery Ideal Muslimahs of Twanse why you should accept Islam firm believers in Islam jihad on nerves and a focus on Islam. When you WhatsApp platforms are omuji videos any audios our platforms so to money or members. Make us a partners a Salamu Muslimin Foundation, Sadaka Walls Project, and your sponsors a B Musafons, a Dum Kumasi, and Habitech Air Conditions and Engineering Works Abuabu Nima and Omo. Ye dan ho abasima ye ba Mallamah be tuyefo.
Wallahi jannah firdaus inshallah. Amen.
Okay, yamama kwa babium. So our question be and our comment suggestion be efa program yi ho a program na ye live ubetima drop no comment ewo video na se na audio yase na se o pese offer live eba dwumedie ni so a studio lines na 0246751175 and 0200773367 production team a omoboa ama dwumedie onsa kan obebi a wo Ishaq Abubakar Edu Musa Alhaj Nyama Junior Haj Omar Muhammad Abdulaziz Ishaq Masud Nashiru Faisal Muhammad Yusuf Abdul Mumin miamiti edwam ye frame Yunus Muhammad we ye ema program Mr. onsa kan o ye be ma na onsa kan no wawo so ama o sister o maame o so bi o yire ana o baba etimi etie edisunfa so insha Allah. The topic is the price of chastity. Yene ye Mallamah kesiye pa ne bidi juma Mallamah Mardiya Mustapha. Sister, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I believe you are doing well.
Alhamdulillah.
Yede nyankopon ase. O program da na ye putugum nko a. Ibitimi ni waka okasa idi aje se yasa ko back to school. Homecoming. Na yakusua ye brofu ni inshallah. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Alhamdulillah, today I would like to continue with the topic I started with last week. Last week we spoke about Maryam alayhi salatu wassalam and her outstanding quality that we all know is her chastity. And alhamdulillah, last week I spoke about her chastity and I gave the advantages and disadvantages of being chaste and then the disadvantages of being unchaste. So inshallah today I would like to continue with the price of chastity, the price you attain when you are chaste, or what the kind of gifts or blessings you get when you remain chaste. So inshallah, I would like to ask the audience, what do we think the price of chastity is? Or like when they say chastity, why must you remain chaste, or why do you have to be chaste? That's what I would like to talk about today. Inshallah, in the Quran there are verses that talk about chastity, and even the hadiths of the prophets. There are some of the hadiths that gives us the glad tidings, that give the glad tidings of Jannah to those who abstain from immoral acts, and those who prevent themselves from unchaste things, and they remain chaste in their lifetime. So I would like to talk about these verses and hadiths that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to us, and also what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran about those who are chaste. As I said last week, chastity is just abstaining yourself from all immoral activities before marriage, or like making yourself into a pure and noble woman, as our mother Maryam alayhi salatu wasalam was, and because of that she attained a very high position in Islam. So what are some of the verses in the Quran which talks about this? I like to start with the a verse I even used last week, which is Surah Al-Imran verse 42. In Surah Al-Imran verse 42, Allah says, وَإِذْ قَالَتِ الْمَلَائِكَةِ يَا مَرْيَمُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ اصْطَفَاكِ وَطَهَّرَكِ وَاصْطَفَاكِ عَلَى نِسَاءِ الْعَالَمِينَ. Now let's listen to the English version, so that
the English version,
yes.
Surah
Al-Imran verse 42.
Verse 42.
Yes.
Okay. It goes like and mention when the angel said, "O Mary, indeed Allah has chosen you and purified you and chosen you above all women of the world."
Okay. So there are a lot of women who came to this world. Some are dead, and from the beginning, from our mother Hawa, there are a lot of women who came to this world, and some are dead and some are even yet to born. And then in this verse of the Quran, Allah is saying that the angel should tell Maryam that Allah has purified her and He has exalted her above all the women in this world, meaning the previous women, and we the current ones, and then those who will come after us. So what quality or what made her attain such a such position in front of Allah, or what made Allah exalted her to such a higher position? It is nothing but her chastity. And even Allah even emphasized that He has raised her and made her pure. He has made her pure in such a meaning, like she was pure. She didn't engage in any immoral activity. She abstained herself from any immoral activity till Allah made her give birth to Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. So just because of this quality, Allah has given her such position or have given her the higher rank in all women in this world. Even if it is said all women, even we can say even the wives of the Prophet, because they are also women, all of them. Nana Maryam alayhi salatu wasalam, just because of her chastity and piety, Allah has raised her above all of us. So don't we think we have to follow her footsteps so that Allah will also raise us and also be happy with us and also exalt us on the day of judgment? Or should we go wayward, or we should also think, because during the time, because that is what people are saying these days. When you talk about, even Nana Maryam, she didn't do this and that, then they'll be like, that's her time. This time things have changed. What things change? It is the same world, and she also lived there. The same men that are in this world, they are the same men that were in her world. So why is it that we cannot follow her footsteps? And it is unfortunate that today it is the immoral act that is all over. Even in the single communities, you go and then you find a lot of ladies, the single ladies who have given birth. I can say there are even more than the married women who have given birth in this present world. And it is a very a sad thing. It is a very sad truth which we must try hard to change. Again, in the Quran, in Surah Al-Mu'minun, verse 5-6, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this verse mentioned some of the characteristics of the Mu'minun. And then he mentioned that in Surah Al-Mu'minun, that it says, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِلزَّكَاةِ فَاعِلُونَ والذين هم لفروجهم حافظون إلا على أزواجهم أو ما ملكت أيمانهم فإنهم غير ملومين. Please, the English version, Surah Al-Mu'minun, verse 5-6.
Verse 5-6.
Yes.
And they who guard their private parts, except from their wives and those their right hands possesses, for indeed they will not be blamed.
So this verse, Surah Al-Mu'minun, when we look at the beginning of the verse, Allah says, "Qad aflaha al-mu'minun," the believers have indeed attained true success. And then he continued the verses that follows are like explaining or giving the characteristics of the mu'minun, the believers. So if you are a really believer, and they stand in prayers and this and that, and then the next verse also gives another quality, and the next verse gives another quality, and then the fifth verse it says, they strictly guide their private parts. Then it says, and then they say, except from their wives and those that their right hands possesses. So meaning, if you are a true believer, or if you are a believer who has attained success, then one of your characteristics is that you have to guard your private part. You have to be chaste. You have to guard your private part, so you get a husband or a wife. That's when you can, or that is, or someone your right hand possesses. Those are the slaves and others. But then we no more have slaves in this era. So I would say your wife is someone you have legally married, and it is her wali, or people know that she's married to you and she's your wife. That one, you don't have to be chaste in front of her or this thing, because the men outside and the women outside, they are not yours. They are all this thing, and they are all Allah's creations. And then Allah has not given you rights over all of them. He has given you rights over only what you possess, which is your wife and what your right hand possesses, or your slave. So if you are a true believer, then you have to be chaste, and then you have to only open up your chastity to your wife or your husband. Again, in this verse it says illa azwajum, unless it's your wife. So this also shows us that chastity is not necessarily to only women, or like, because when I started talking from the ways, like now I'm talking about Nana Mariam and chastity, and how women these days they've given birth without out of wedlock and others. But even a man, you have to protect your chastity. We can see this in the story of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. When Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam came to Egypt, the wife of Pharaoh, the Pharaoh at Egypt, Zuleika, she found she found Yusuf very adorable and very handsome, that she even had the intention of having an affair with him. But then what happened? When she decorated the place and decorated herself and opened the doors towards her and told Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam to come in, and then she told him, "Hi talak, or come and do whatever you want to do." What did Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam? He said, "Call Allah." He said, "I seek refuge from Allah from you." So he is he is a man, and then a woman is inviting him towards immorality. It's like in these days, some will say, "Oh, but since you are not the one who is forcing her, she is the one inviting you, so I will just do it." And then, but then what did he say? He is seeking refuge from Allah. He is seeking,
and the guys also see enegata makobatra. They can't fight that temptation. That's the modern day saying. But Anabi Yusuf was able to overcome that. Yes,
and then we have to also try. Even the guys there, we should stop this modern day term. Yes. Because as we are becoming modern, at least our eyes should open. Yes. And know that these things are all immorality. We shouldn't feel like as we are becoming modern, so we are better than them. Those in the previous, like the era of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. So these things, we will do it and then move on. We shouldn't be that way. We should take these prophets as our examples, and we ladies too should take these mothers of ours as examples, and that is where we will really be true believers. Because in the Quran, Allah says the true believers are those who strictly guide their private parts. And again in Surah Al-Ahzab verse 35, again Allah gave the characteristics there, And then he again said they will attain. He said they will attain something. Let's see what he said in Surah Al-Ahzab, verse 35.
Ahzab, verse 35. That's Surah 33, verse 35.
Yes.
Indeed, the Muslim men and Muslim women, the believing men and the believing women, the obedient men and the obedient women, the truthful men and the truthful women, the patient men and the patient women, the humble men and the humble women, the charitable men and the charitable women, the fasting men and the fasting women, the men who guide their private parts and the women who do so, and the men who remember Allah often and the women who do so. For them Allah has prepared forgiveness and great reward.
So in this verse we see that Allah has listed a lot of characteristics in both men and women. Fasting men, fasting women, prayerful men, prayerful women, and then the men who guard their chastity and the women who guard their chastity. Allah has prepared for them a mighty reward and a forgiveness. So we can see that in this verse also Allah said those who guard their private parts, both men and women, these people, those with this quality, Allah will forgive them, because we are all sinners. As human beings, you are bound to sin, and we all seek for Allah's forgiveness and rahmah. And then Allah is saying in the Quran that if you are this and that, then Allah will forgive you. If you are someone with this character and that character and that character, Allah will forgive you. So why not we instead of again doing things that will call for the wrath of Allah, why not we do things that will seek for Allah's forgiveness and that will even make us attain a mighty reward? We all say we all always pray that we want to enter Jannah, and we all say we will like Jannah. Nobody will like to be thrown into the hellfire. But then Jannah is not easy to go in, and it's same as how even the hellfire is not, because chastity, if you guard your chastity, you are free from a lot of things. You are free from contracting with this STD, sexually transmitted disease. You are even free from abortion, and which may lead to death. And again, on the day of judgment, Allah will reward you with a mighty reward, which is Jannah, or even Allah's pleasure, Allah's contentment. Meanwhile, when you are not chaste, you will suffer in this world, and again on the day of judgment you will suffer. So why not we become chaste, so that we attain pleasure in this world and again attain pleasure in the year after? But then it's unfortunate that these days people don't think that way. People think, there is enjoyment in this, so I want to enjoy the world and this thing. But then we have to know that this world is not only of worldly benefits. When you are in this world, you have to work for your hereafter too. You cannot just be in this world and say you are enjoying yourself for this world to attain the pleasure in this world, the pleasure in women, the pleasure in music and this thing. We have to come into this world. We came into this world to be tested, because in the Quran Allah said in Surah Al-Mulk, Surah Al-Mulk, تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. That in Surah Al-Mulk Allah said He created the life and death so that He would test us and see who is the most righteous. So if you are a Muslim, you should know this in mind, that Allah created you to test us, or Allah created me to test me, to see whether I will be righteous or I will not be righteous, so that I will attain paradise or I will go to hellfire. And because of that, Allah has set a lot of obstacles. And again in the Quran, He also told us, He also give us some of the things we will do so that we will save ourselves from these obstacles. We know it's not easy, and because it's not easy, that's why Allah in the Quran said to men that advise men to lower their gazes. You should lower your gaze so that you don't fall into these immoral acts. Because if we always our eyes is connected to our brain, so what we see, we have that desire to maybe like tempt it, or to also touch it or feel something about it. So Allah told you to lower your gaze, and the women to save you from immoral activities. Allah said when you are going outside, you should be in jalbab. you should cover yourself. You should make sure you dress decently so that you don't engage yourself in immoral act, or you don't attract any man so that the man will engage himself in immoral act. But it's unfortunate that today we are all copying the Westerns, and we like to dress in like not in an immoral or indecent way, so that we feel like that is life, we are enjoying life and this, which is no, because nobody will see a toffee which has been opened or which is out of its cover and flies have passed on it, and the person will take it that he is going to lick it or something. Everybody likes something which is there. When I was in school, they used to say "me petit rubber." Yeah. They want something which is in the rubber, like something they will open it themselves. Yes. Not something which has already been opened and this thing. And even I remember when
which has already been torn and used.
So everybody like new things. So we should at least try and then protect ourselves so that we will be new. When you get married to your husband will be happy that you are a tear. He will even respect you.
Oh, you are a tear rubber.
Yes. Okay. Because even when we were young, I remember there is a singer who sang that. So Obiara Virgin and Sana was ready. Yes. Even when we were young, we didn't know the meaning of the song, but we just the rhythm we were saying. But then after we grew up, we said, so like every man wants a virgin before he gets married, even though he has even if he has spoiled other ladies, he still will not marry the other lady he has spoiled.
The ones he spoiled.
Yes, he will look for a virgin. Yes, tear rubber. Yes. He wants new thing, new from the box. And again in the Bible quotation, Exodus verse 22 verse 16. Let's see what the Bible says about.
Okay. If a man seduces a virgin, this is from the New International Version.
Okay.
If a man seduces a virgin who is not pledged to be married and sleep with her, he must pay the bride price, and she shall be his wife.
Okay. So even the Bible says if a man seduces a woman, and the woman is a virgin.
Yes.
So like the word emphasized there is a virgin.
Yes.
Meaning if he seduces her and she's not a virgin, then he doesn't have he shouldn't pay, like it's not unto him to pay the bride price.
Yes.
Because it didn't say if a man seduces a woman then he has to pay.
No, a virgin.
A virgin. So there are a lot of prices for virgin. If he has seduces her and then he finds out that she's a virgin, then he has to pay her bride price. So we see even the Bible is saying this, but it's unfortunate that even those the Muslims are copying from are Christians and these things, the Westerns. They are not Muslims. We can say they are Christians, but even their Bible is saying this, and they are going wayward of their Bible. And the way that our Quran has given numerous verses about. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has also given a lot of hadith about being moral or your chastity. We turn back towards these things, and then we try to follow the footsteps of Shaitan, which is very bad. Let's see a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "I guarantee paradise for whoever who guards what is in between his jaws and what is in between his legs." So what is in between our jaws? We will say our mouth, because our two jaws and our tongue. Yeah. And then in between our legs too is our private parts.
Yes.
So the Prophet is saying he has guaranteed Jannah for. So what you utter or what you say.
Guarding what's between your leg does not mean when you feel like urinating, you guard it.
No,
that's not what we are talking about.
Yes, you like guiding it from
immoral activities.
Yes. You should always keep it tight.
Yes.
For only your husband or someone who has only paid for your bride price or who has done the nikah with you. Yes. Not to any man, because you are not a this thing. Even the animals, they like sometimes even when you are looking at them, or if you are looking at some of their behaviors, you see that even if the male is chasing the female, she ran away. Yes. But because they are animals, so. And you, a woman, sometimes even if the male is chasing the female, she doesn't run, but she herself, she also she bring herself. Even animals know
that's what
they have that sense of running away. But some women, they themselves even go there, and men to keep on chasing and this thing, and and even it will cause a lot of diseases to you, and also it will degrade your this thing. It will degrade you in the society. Let's see, even in this, we have those who are in that service. You go there, you pay, and then does your virginity just cost like this small amount of money?
And the 30 Ghana and the 40 Ghanas.
Just because of some just little amount of money, 20 cedis or something, then somebody will come to you, then you open up, and then later on the person will go and even give you a disease which is even the 20 cedis cannot cure that disease. So we have to be very careful with these things. And if we can see that even our traditions, the Northern traditions, the Ashanti traditions, and even the Hausa traditions, they give a high respect to a virgin. Yeah. We know of this Bragro and Dipo.
Yes.
Yes, they do it to young ladies who are virgin. If you are not a virgin, sometimes the rule is that they banish you from the society when the Dipo is going on, and they find out that you have not gone through these rituals and you've breaking your virginity. So we have to we see that even these traditions hold on to, or they give much
credence to virgins.
So we have to also try our best. Even traditions are doing it. What of us who call ourselves Muslims, and the Quran has have listed how you must dress and has given you what you attain when you are a virgin. So we have to, and even when we look at the Hausa people, like when a lady is married, that night sometimes there is that tradition of they spread white bed sheets on the lady's bed, and then the next day they will come and see whether there are stains of blood to see whether she's a virgin or something. Again, when we the Northerners, some of the tribes in North, that when it is said that when like a lady is married, and then the lady is the lady's people will take calabash with kola nuts to the man, and when the man finds out that she's a virgin, he will bring back the calabash empty and nice like. But if she's not a virgin, then they will make holes. And then they will make holes.
Some people have drilled inside.
Yes. So many, like when you were coming, you are not full like that. You were already having potholes. So they will bring then they will put the calabash cry. Even if they are bringing it back to your family, maybe the shame will stay in your family. But then they will tie it around the trees, around this thing in the community. So everybody will know that. Oh, so even the woman they brought here, she was not a virgin, because they know their tradition, and you will not be respected. And again, there are some some tribes too who will even beat the woman. They will beat the woman because she was not a virgin when she came. Because the man is saying that I have paid for a bride price, so you should come to me in full. Yes. But then you've come when you are not a tearer, but you are already used.
A first rule. Second hand.
Yes. So
may Allah forgive us.
Amen.
My question is, are all women or those who are broken their virginity? No. Okay. I'm not part of this program.
You are part. You are part of
are all men, all ladies who are broken their virginity, can we consider all of them equal? Those from, don't we have?
There are some excuses, because sometimes it's not like some people did not deliberately lose their virginity because they want to, or because of like they have to, or because they want to.
No.
Some may like this rape case.
Yes.
Like these things, they are all something which
some of them are also seduced.
Seduced
through drugs.
So all these ones are excuses. If someone has been raped, then the person is not like, or he's not deliberately not a virgin or unchaste. Maybe the person has guarded his chastity, but then sometimes you have to know that maybe it is Allah's command, or it is a trial from Allah. And then if you pray to Allah, of course Allah will make you into a very fresh virgin again.
Inshallah,
because it can happen, because even in the life of Yusuf alayhi salam, or the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, we saw that the ending, Zulayha, who repented and then seeked for Allah's forgiveness, because she really liked and loved and wanted to marry Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, Allah made her into a young virgin again. When after she grew up and became old, Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam prayed to Allah, and then she became into a very young virgin, and then she got married to Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. So not all circumstances. Some people maybe even divorcee. Maybe a man can go and marry a woman and she's a divorcee, and because of that, you have
1 month the person can divorce her.
Yes.
So sometimes it's if you are a divorcee, we cannot say you were in an immoral or indecent act, because the man who broke your virginity, he made nikah. He made your nikah.
Yes.
And then he legally took you as his wife.
Yes.
So you are not an immoral woman.
It wasn't out of wedlock.
Yes. So these ones, all these circumstances are like pardonable. They are not even in this thing. They are not hold on as immorality or indecency.
No.
And the widows, even the widows.
And widows too, it's not out of wedlock, because their husband got married to them and this thing. So like advice to the men who like claim, I don't want to get even some people move to this thing. I don't want to get married to a widow. I don't want to get married to a divorcee. I want my fresh this thing. We are not saying you shouldn't look for a fresh shoe, because even there was a companion that the prophet said, why not marry a virgin and you play with her and she also play with you? It is a good thing, but then also we have to know that these people, they are less privileged in the society, and so men should always have that pity side towards them. If you really want to get married to a divorcee or this thing, you shouldn't have the intention that, she's already tasted, so I'm just going to taste her and leave her, because that is the unfortunate thing that is happening. You see a divorcee or a widow, after she gets married to her second husband, it will not reach up to like maybe a year or this thing, and then he has left her, or he's doing basa towards her, which is very bad. If you really wanted to marry her for the sake of Allah. Marry her to attain, or so that both of you will complete half of your deen. Don't marry her because she has already been used, and she, like, during those times too, women, they become desperate because you feel like you are not new again. How men are these days. Who is going to get married? So they don't have time to look into to look into the person's character and this thing. So they just accept in any situation. So men should also have pity towards these women. And
the prophet's wife, how many of them were virgin?
Only one was virgin. And only Nana Aisha was virgin among the prophet's wife. All the rest were either widows and divorcee. Zainab bint Jahsh was divorcee of his slave, and he married her. A lot, Salama, Ayman, a lot of them, they were all widows, and the prophet married them, and he was fair among all of them. So as Muslims, we have to take the prophets as our example. We know that even the companions, his companions also, a lot of them married widows and and also divorcees. So we have to take the prophet and his companions as examples in our life.
If I should come in, another group of ladies we should consider are those sent, should we say, especially Arab countries, to make money. Some of them, they go there with their virginity intact. Unfortunately, maybe they get into wrong hands, and the men will abuse them. Those ladies too, we have to consider it wasn't their intention to go there and do commercial sex. It was out of, let's say, accident. That's what we can term it. We should also consider those.
Okay, so let's see what we gain. What are the prizes? I've said the verses and this. Now let's explain the prizes or the advantages or what we gain when you are chaste, or the price of the chastity itself. One is the spiritual price. What is the spiritual price? Allah in the Quran says He has raised Maryam. So one of the spiritual prices that Allah will raise us, because the spiritual price is what Allah is going to do to us. Allah will raise you as how He exalted Maryam, make you pure. If you hold yourself, especially in this our society, the internet is causing us a lot. And if you are able, as a woman, if you are able to and the men too are most of the time harassing and this, and sometimes even your friends who are in those acts, like some of the things they'll be telling you, even sometimes desperate to get married, it also make you fall into immoral acts. Because I was having a friend, and like we were all there, and she came, and we were like chatting and was seeking for advice, and then she started narrating that there was a guy who she was in a relationship, like this boyfriend girlfriend relationship with, and the guy said he will get married with her, but then unless she allows him to have sex with her. But then she too, because the mother at home is giving her pressure to get married, she didn't see it as anything, because the man has said, oh, he will marry her, and then she gave herself in, and then from that day on it became something like a habit, and up to date the man has not married her. So we have to know that if you are desperate to get married, what did Allah say? The Prophet ﷺ said, if you are somebody whose desire is too unbearable, you should do what? You should fast, because it will protect your chastity, or it will protect that desire from you. So this being desperate to get married that shouldn't make you fall into a victim of this immoral act. We always have to turn to Allah whenever we need something. Pray to Allah. Even if your parents are on your nerves to get married and the man is asking for this thing, at least explain to your parents. Tell them why is it that they are rushing, because these things, the day you will get married and the date you get married, is not in your hands. It is Allah's plan. He knows when he has planned for you to get married and do this. So it's not in your hand. So they shouldn't pressure you. We should have that ability to be able to say no to these things, instead of like, oh no, I cannot, my mother is pressuring me and this man is saying he needs this before, so let me just give myself in, and then after that we will get married. No, it shouldn't be that way. And again, Allah's pleasure. Allah says, if you Allah gave in Surah Al-Ahzab, we saw the characteristics Allah gave, and then He said these people will attain His forgiveness and then a mighty reward. So the mighty reward should be Jannah again, and then Allah's pleasure. If you want to gain this spiritual prize, then you should be sure and guide your private path and guide your chastity, because Allah and the Prophet ﷺ said He has guaranteed Jannah to whoever who guards his private part and then his tongue. And again, there are worldly prizes you will gain, which is your dignity and then family grace. If you are you are able to guard your chastity, then you, like in the society, you will be a role model to others. Even if parents are talking or giving advice to their children, they'll always point to you. They'll say, didn't you see so and so? They'll always use you as an example to give advice to their children or to talk to their children. So you have dignity in the society, and then your family too will be graced. They will not be disgraced. They will be graced because they are able to take care of a child, and then she's able to hold her chastity till marriage. And that is why even after marriage, some husbands bring a lot of gifts to their wives' parents, just to thank the mother for being able to take care of a child, and she's able to also protect her chastity and so on. So not to disgrace our parents, we should try and also hold our chastity till marriage, so that our parents will also be happy with us. And we all know, when your parents are happy towards you, then Allah is happy with you too. So we should try and also do it. And again, the society too. In the society too, you will be having respect by the people. The people in the society will respect you. They will give you much respect, and then even your children, your offspring will be respected, because when they are going to say they are going to address your child, they will not say, oh, look at this child whose mother gave birth to him out of wedlock, but they will say, oh, that this child whose mother married so and so, and then they gave birth to him. So the child will also be bearing a good name. No, he will not bear a bad name because of you. So we should try our best and then guard our chastity. I would like to end here, and then shaking his place. I would like to also thank the woman who gave us the gifts last.
Yes, Haji Agado.
Yes, I would like to thank her very much. May Allah richly bless her.
Amen.
And then also put
our
back wherever she is.
Yes.
Our followers and also the sponsors. May Allah also richly bless you.
Inshallah.
And then grant you Jannah for whatever you are doing, inshallah.
Inshallah. Hawa. Masha Allah. Farooq Yahya. Allahu Akbar. Aisha Muhammad. Masha Allah. May Allah reward you, our sister. Salif Muhammad. Masha Allah. Okay. Ghana Baba, watching you live, Mallamah, on Mam Online, live in Italy. Stay blessed. Audu Halidu, assalamu alaikum. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Prince Senna Gausen, hey Mallamah. Okay, Sifa Kwame, salam. You are all watching us live on Mam Online. Yeah, social media handles Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Telegram, Skype, Snapchat, and Twitter. Ubinya your videos, any audios. Our program near Ideal Muslimahs Show. Yene Mallamah, Mardiya, Mustapha, any DJ live. Our Hana, we need English version. Mekayo say Jumedi B Musafon Sena Habitat Air Conditions and Engineering Works Limited. So also person sponsor the here say over 0246751175 and 0200773367. Jumedi be a the business be a we the here say a halal business. Yabeba nya betiki video e ad advert the amount programs aye Mam Online nyina so kai say was say halal business nya say kramoni watoto ani are na wo sport or one corner bi no aba say Mam Online bi twanye ye sponsor there bi say sika no kra ye njimpo na ye kan halal business wo business bi a wo ye oba bia na opese wo sponsor Mam Online na 0246751175 and 0200773367. Ofra and she share or no beka yabebo jumem yabetiki videos ayene ad programs aye Mam Online na yabebo ewo so te said yebo bi musa de ebo habitek de no yebeye ne saa pepepe omo ko hajj this year Sheikh Mahmoud Yabo Aferi ena Malam Isa Yahya mudi yenemu ane wo Ghana ha Isa Yahya on Habitat Air Conditions and Engineering Works eyene dia Sheikh Mahmoud Yabo Aferi onon so ye Sheikh kese power preachy ewe platform yiso omoko hajj ene ye followers ye partners ahodo a omonso eko hajj bi USA especially man be bri na koi emema no so be bri koi proud to hajj bi nso koye umrah ewo ho stars ko yibi ase odi esi on pese ye beka but yaka munyina no ya mama kwaba ya tese plane na shase a airland ma shase a musisi for insha Allah ye hwemanim se ye betem nka ma bebo mpa ya amaye mo hira ye so nhira am konya ye bi no ma to kakra mo dia send ye ewo down ha insha Allah ye da munyina mo ase program akatoa so adanko deka basisi ya ye dan ye ho aba ye ba adanko deka insha Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
والله الجنة تدوس إن شاء الله. آمين.